Yeah, I kind of want to touch on what my colleague from Kentucky, Congressman Whitfield, was talking about on the grants, the community transformation grants, and there is evidence they're being used to advocate for, or lobby pending positions, and I would agree that if you look at the language in the budget, you're striking the language that was put in the Appropriations Act, but you do leave no part of any appropriation contained in this act shall be used to pay the salary expenses of federal, state, but you do leave in for local. It's Congress or the state legislature, but you strike local. So you take that language out. So it seems that the proposal would grant access to the local because it says in the law that no money shall be enacted by Congress without expressed authority by Congress. So it appears the way I read this that you're asking for authority to do local. But anyway, but the current law, the way I read it, now that's going forward. Obviously it's not enacted because it's a proposed budget, but the grants were put out under the existing law, as you said. And I think you said it applied to you but not the grantee when at the end of his comment.
Pardon me?
You said that the language applied to us, I guess meaning the government, but not the grantee. I'm not sure exactly what you meant by that. That's why I was going to ask you on that.
The original language that has been part of the law that we have administered and had our grantees administer applied to grantees lobbying the federal government. That has been prohibited. That's part of the underlying law. What was added to our appropriation bill in 2012, and what I was trying to explain is that no new prevention grants have been issued under this new language, and we are retraining grantees, is that a prohibition for grantees to lobby at the local level or the state level is now an additional piece of the law that was not part of the underlying statute. So that's new. We will administer the directives to grantees to comply with that. There have been no funds that have been issued under the new law, and I think the pages of examples which began to be recited were grantees who are lobbying at either the state or local level, not lobbying the federal government.
Okay. Well, it says not the current law that you cannot use the grant money intended to design or influence in any manner a member of Congress, a jurisdiction, or an official of any government to favor, adopt, or oppose, or vote otherwise any legislation, ratification, policy, or appropriation. So I don't think it just limits. Current law doesn't limit you to Congress. It's any lobbying. And U.S. Code 1913. So the point is, if that's the way I read it, it says it says a member of Congress or jurisdiction or any official of any government or an official of any government to favor or oppose, vote or otherwise. And maybe that's the misunderstanding because in the Recovery Act, on the website in the Recovery Act, one is Connecticut said a grassroots coordinator spent 163 hours establishing community support by educating and advocating adoption of smoke-free policies. There's several, just a couple. In Idaho to address obesity through nutrition, and it says working for proposals in the 2012 state legislature for vending machines for schools, and I can give these to you, and then in the grants, so that was the Recovery Act money. Now it's gone to community transformation grants, and the Department of Minute that's been approved, actually in their grant proposal says they want to pass at least 70 regional, local, institutional policies to enhance affordability. And the New York Public Fund says they want a tax on lobby for local, or they say advocate, but lobby for a tax on sugar-sweet beverages. Having said that, my reading of the law is that it's banned on any form of government. Is the department think it's only federal government?
Again, Congressman, I apologize. I do not have the existing statute here. I would love to answer this question in writing. I can tell you FY 12 appropriations through Congress that we just have added new language.
Right.
The new language, which was not part of the underlying law, applied to grantees lobbying at the local level. So
I accept you have it granted based on what the language is the last appropriation.
The underlying law clearly didn't cover some of what is covered in the new language.
Well, that may be where I'm agreeing with you that the money that you haven't seen grants out with the appropriation language, Section 503. But I think the existing law, and maybe that's where because it says to me, and I know you have a chance to read it, but and I agree with you, you need the time to read it, but it says any member of Congress, a jurisdiction, or an official of any government. So I think that would be city governments, state governments, and if y'all don't think that's in case, I'd like to have it in writing what your position is on
would be
that.
glad to answer
Appreciate
that
it.
in
Thank
writing.
you.